All right, how are you guys doing this morning? This is a pretty fun slate in my opinion. I think there's a lot of avenues to go. For whatever reason, there's just been a ton of talk. It seems that everybody's kind of heading back. I want to do one thing actually. Let me grab this here because I think this will help a lot. Is that gonna block? Okay, we're gonna put it here actually. All right. Here, let me put this on screen. All right, so when we're looking at this race, if you remember this is from my previous videos this week. These were the drivers that I was looking at entering just from the preview video and stuff like, and everything. This is the starting grid. I figured I would just use this because this is a much easier way to display it and show it and stuff. When I look at this race, this is a race where I'm going to live and die by William Byron. I don't really see a reason to not play William Byron. I don't see a reason to not play Truex. I don't see a reason to not play Larson. Um, I mean that just it, man. I don't understand why people wouldn't just build with Byron, Truex, and Elliott in a lineup. Like that just makes a ton of sense to me. I feel like that's chalk, but maybe it isn't. Maybe people want to get what is it? Get different or try and do something different. Um, but that just I mean I think this slate's like pretty straightforward. Like if just throw the projections in and you'll see like when you start building. Let me bring this over here. Was that a saber sim on this one? There we go. I had an echo as well. Sorry, I still had Twitter open. I don't know, man. I don't really have a lot to talk about. It's just I'm playing like these are the same guys that I wanted to focus on entering the week. We have Ty Gibbs who's showing speed in practice. We had Bubba Wallace who showed speed. We had Chris Buescher who showed tremendous speed. We had Keselowski showing speed. We have Ross has not been fast, so that's fine. Byron's up here. Truex up there. Like I'm living and dying by these fucking guys that I talk about. And then just filling the lineup out, with people like Ryan Preece, uh, people like it's mainly like Ryan Preece, some Ty Dillon, uh, and the Sims and stuff. But like for the most part, I feel like this is like a super like straightforward slate. I'm gonna have to go off of questions and comments and stuff and things like that because I saw a single entry question. I would just play Chase Elliott, Truex, and William Byron in single entry, and fill the lineup out however you want after that. Like that's how I'm entering my lines. I might even just do single entry today. I was gonna do more lines. I currently have stuff reserved, but like if people don't want to do that, I might just enter the 24 and the 12 and just save money that way. I don't know. This seems like a super straightforward slate, like way more than normal. Uh, we still had the Ford talk entering this week, and in some stuff I just don't get that at all. Place differential, sure, yes, Kyle Busch was wildly fast, stupidly fast. Messed up his Q lap, but like just play Chase Elliott. He starts at the tail end of the field at $9,600. Play Todd Gilliland, probably the best 5K range there. Like he's not gonna kill you, even if he finishes like 31st or something. Like you're going head to head between like him and Cindric, him and LaJoy. Like those are the head to head battles. And Todd Gilliland just way safer. If he survives Rex, he's probably gonna outscore those guys. Like I don't know. This is just a super straightforward slate, in my opinion. So we'll probably be a short live show, and I'll just go off of your guys' questions. That's really where I'm at. Like to know if McDowell and Gillen are good plays together for a chalk like Elliott. Probably need to get my projections over here as well so I can view stuff and see stuff. All right, so who am I answering? McDowell and Gillen. I mean, I got McDowell right at just under 30 points. That's with some fast laps as well, mainly because of the pit stall. And I got Gillen at 21. So, I mean, projection-wise, they're not there. But, like, when you're running a chalk line, just at this point, trying to do anything to get different. I'm not chasing place differential. Like, the place differential plays that I would go to are Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott. If you can afford it, you're going to see battles between, like, the second lap leader possibly being pushed out of the optimal lineup due to the second place, like, place differential play that comes through, or the second highest place differential play that comes through. You could argue that could be either Bowman, Kyle Busch, even Chastain. But just seeing how hard it is to pass in these cars, seeing how majorly important track position is, I would rather just focus on the guys that are going to be leading this race. You do have several teams that are probably going to get stupid and try and stay out for stage points, which I am a bit hesitant on. Because when we look at the playoff standings, like, McDowell is probably going to try and get stage points. So if the leaders are short pitting, which they fucking should, I don't understand why nobody else did that with Custer yesterday. Bubba Wallace, McDowell, Suarez, AJ, Ty Gibbs are the main guys I'm concerned about getting stupid, trying to prioritize stage points and stuff. Ty Gibbs should be saved by that just because he'll have raw speed alone. But I'm probably not going to be able to get to McDowell in my lines, so that's not really a concern that I'm worried about. Who are my favorites to lead today? William Byron, Truex, Kyle Larson. Those three guys. Multiple guys, 9K and above, force you to play under 7K. It seems like most of them are overqualified are going to be super. I mean, Priest and Gillen are chalk due to just their pricing, where they're at. They're a lot safer plays. I'm not saying prioritize them, but if you land on them, like, I'm not gonna destroy a lineup because I land on Ryan Preece. I'm not gonna get rid of a lineup because I land on Todd Gilliland. If I like the lineup, if it's the guys that I'm on, I'm playing it. I don't really like. I'm not playing Chase Briscoe. Like, in terms of guys who could get realistic place differential points that aren't gonna lose you any points, Preece is guaranteed to gain positions. Chase Elliott is gaining positions. Gillen is most likely gaining positions, even if it's 5 or 6. That's still going to be outscoring people. Like, I don't know if people, like, really do pay attention to, like, how drastic, like, dropping positions are. But, like, let's use Cindric for an example here. Okay, Cindric starts 9th today. I have him projected to finish 14th. Good day. Pretty decent day for the Penske car, for the Ford out of the Penske camp. That's 27 points. That's with some fast laps in there. That's 25 points. It's 4.2. Like, if Cindric drops like 14th, 15th, and 16th, he is competing, and this isn't salary, this is just an example. His DraftKings points are competing directly with BJ McLeod, Ty Dillon, Gregson, Todd Gilliland. Like, that's just an example. And those aren't even similar plays or similar price plays. Whereas, like, LaJoy, I gave him 15th. I gave LaJoy 15th, and that's 25 points. If LaJoy holds on his position and finishes 12th, that's 31 points. And that's clear value, clear best play in that range. If he drops just one position, he drops to 29, which is still value. So, like, LaJoy, does he finish 13th or better today? I don't think so. I think he finishes like 13th, or I think he finishes 14th, 15th. And if that's the case, we're seeing LaJoy probably going to be scoring 25 points. There's a real argument to be made that Ryan Preece can score anywhere from 28 to 32. There's a real argument to be made that Todd Gilliland can score anywhere between probably 20 to 30. Depending on where he goes. Like, Todd Gilliland doesn't have to do a lot. He basically just has to finish in the top 30, and he's going to be outscoring these guys. McDowell, same argument to be made there. I got McDowell finishing 15th today. And that is 28 points. Like, that's like we really got to focus on not necessarily the upside, but like I just don't. I'm just not going to be playing LaJoie and McDowell. I'm already chasing the front three guys. I'm probably going to have two of those front three guys in my lineups, and most of them. I'm playing Elliott. I don't see a reason to play that stuff. I'd much rather play like somebody like Chris Buescher. I'd much rather play somebody like even Eric Jones. I'm not a big Eric Jones fan today. I'm very set in my ways. I'm not really getting off my projections. If you have those, the guys that I'm on. I'm not really going to argue with that. I'm going to throw it in the optimizer, and unless it's like in some of these lines, I don't really like the what is this one here? This is like Stenhouse and Jones together. I don't really like that. I'd rather have one or the other. This has McDowell and Suarez with like Reddick and Stenhouse. Like, that's disgusting. I don't really want to play that. But that's just kind of where I'm at, man. Thank you very much for the super chat, Michael. I do appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Everything's going well. Well-ish. I'm doing fine. I'm going through a lot, but that's mainly it. But for the most part, I'm doing good. No. So Kyle Busch, cash. This is what I mean, man. This is where Kyle Busch is at. So for me, I don't want to hear some bullshit of like, well, Pocono is just not like any other track. There's no track that you can find to support where people are going to have speed. There's just, Pocono is its own animal. Like people who are fast at intermediate tracks are just not fast here. People who are fast at intermediate tracks this year are just not going to be fast at Pocono. People, like, there's just no tracks. Like, you cannot look at a high bank track to find out where people are going to be at Pocono. Anywho, you could see where my argument there. So, like Kyle Busch today, fantastic speed in practice. Best case scenario, he's able to repeat. Where am I at? Where's my practice laps over here? Like these are here. Yeah, that's good. Good speed in practice. Should have been. I mean, he fucked up. Clearly in qualifying. That's just how it was. But Larson, Truex, Byron, fastest guys in practice, okay? Yes, Kyle Busch fucks up and he messes up and he's got to go through a ton of shit to get through the field because he's starting way back here somewhere. Wherever the fuck Kyle's at. He's starting 25th, okay? So, realistically, Kyle Busch is probably going to work his way up to... where's he at? I got Kyle Busch finishing 9th today, okay? That's going through adversity. That's, passing, anywhere from 6 to 5 cars on most runs because passing at Pocono is very difficult. Track position is very important. Things like that. I am not going to be playing Kyle Busch today. Okay? I have Kyle Busch getting some fast laps. I have Kyle Busch getting some... I actually do not have Kyle Busch for any fast laps. Give him 9. What is that at? Finishing 9th, anywhere from 8th to 11th, with anywhere from probably 7 to 11 fast laps, going to get you right around 53 points. Elliott is going to be outscoring him, which is a much better place differential play, better pricing play. We're probably going to have the 2 lap leaders, which I would argue being Byron, Truex, Larson, one of these guys, and or if somebody else fucking gets in there and leads laps due to all the shenanigans of flip-flop and stuff. We're probably going to have your race leader score 70 or more, or your race winner score 70 or more points. Secondary lap leader will probably be in the 60s, I'm assuming. 60s, high 50s. Elliott's probably going to score mid-50s. So that means Kyle Busch is probably going to be the 4th to 6th highest scoring driver on the race today, if it goes like that, which just how I would assume it happens. Kyle Busch will be anywhere from 6th to 4th highest scoring. Due to pricing, I think that can push him out. I don't think he would Let me change that. There's real arguments to be made that Kyle Busch can get forced out of the optimal due to the pricing at the 10.5. In cash, I would argue that I don't believe you need Kyle Busch in cash. I don't believe you need Kyle Busch in tournaments today. I am not going to be building with Kyle Busch today. I think that, I mean, that might be a wild stance. I don't really listen to fucking any content anymore. All the fucking content out there is terrible. So I might be against the grain on that one, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Let's see where else we're at. Cole Custer, he's in a Rick Ware cart. Why would we play Cole Custer starting 31st? Best case scenario, finishes like 27th. Like we can't play the slow cars. We can't play the Rick Ware. If you're thinking of Cole Custer, just play Ty Dillon. Why? Like truly, guys, look, it's in fucking insane how well the back markers are doing. It's insane. Like every week, it's wild. It's fucking nuts. Now this is Pocono. It might get stupid. We might have some crashes and stuff. But seriously, take a look at the back markers. It's been very unfortunate that Yaley has qualified so well, and even like the fact that he's been starting 29th and finishing right around there. That's like 13 points, give or take, outside of the Coke 600 and all this. I mean, even at Coke 600, 36th, 16th, we're having a lot of times where these guys are actually finishing pretty decently. But like when you get your cheap guy in the back, like Ty Dillon, we'll look at Ty Dillon specifically because he's been queuing terrible. Last week, 35th to 26th. That's 25 points. There's a real chance something similar like that can happen today. He can go from 33rd to finish 29th today and work depending on who you're putting in your lineups. Perk State 400, 27th to 19th. 33rd to 35th, 34th to 32nd, 412, that's like generic stuff. Sonoma, 27th to 23rd, like that's like not bad speed at all. Gateway, 33rd, which is where he's at today, to 25th. That's 28, that's 25 points. Like if you are considering, or if you have any questions on Yaley, BJ, Custer, just play Ty Dillon. Has the highest upside of the guys in the back of the field. That's just how it is. And it's a shame that we had so many guys have queue issues because Dillon would have most likely started dead last and probably finished 30th or 29th. With everybody here, like BJ, Custer, Yaley, I usually project them for like 27th, 28th due to crashes, them passing people, adversity, things like that. I mean, just like if you're curious about any of the cheap guys, just play Ty Dillon and move on. And nobody's playing Ty Dillon. I don't remember what his ownership was last weekend, but like they're not playing these guys at all. You know what I mean? Also, thank you. 100 of you guys here on this Sunday morning. Thank you very much. If you want to support me, support the work that I do, you can either join the Patreon or, which some individuals have done this month, just in the middle of the month, which I appreciate, or you can donate or tip, send me a tip through the PayPal link in the description below, or the PayPal link on my Twitter bio and stuff like that. So let's keep going through here. Yeah, I mean it's wild how consistent the wrecks have been in these races that caused these guys starting last. Like I don't think DraftKings has a formula and has a reason to price them higher. Like you can't get rid of the 4K range. We've seen them, sometimes, goof around with like men's salary between 4,500, 47, 48. But like at some point, like the bottom of the salary is just the bottom of the salary. Like Yaley, Dillon, BJ are there because they're the worst cars. You can't price Gregson up because he's in a legacy car. Like this is just where we're at. Like so, each and every week, just play really the cheapest guy starting farthest on back. In some lines, it's worked out so far. It's been phenomenal so far. If you've been doing that, which I haven't been doing fully, I should probably be doing that more. Let's see, Burton. What I got Burton for? I got Burton finishing 21st today. Burton's an interesting. I mean, this is fucking slow, dude. This is bad. This is really bad. Thank you, AD, by the way, because I was not able to pull stuff this week, and I was running around doing stuff. I got these from Abnormally Distributed. Thank you for pulling the times, because normally I like pulling the miles per hour. That just works better in my head. But these are pretty slow. I mean, this is really, really fucking slow time, man. Current form indicates, like, you can see where Harrison Burton is, anywhere from, 31st to, 22nd. Darlington, he was phenomenal, but this was more so. Also, these are, because I get questions, or these are not results. These are basically just, driver rating, but fixed to and more realistic indicate how good the car was, or just how well he ran. Prioritizing like top 5 running laps, top 10 running laps, fast laps, and pit road data that I put in here. But man, this is where Burton is on intermediate tracks. Qualifying 26, truly a slow car in practice. That's concerning. Typically, whenever I see this, like, I don't see much upside. Now, I said the same thing with Darlington, and the fucker stays out and almost wins this stupid race, especially with Chastain just fencing Larson. Like, Harrison Burton almost won the Darlington race, but that was on pit strategy and stuff. I gotta hope, I pray. Even last year, outside of Hamlin putting Chastain in the wall at this race, we really didn't have a lot of yellows. I don't think Harrison Burton is going to be in the situation to be able to leapfrog the field like that. Like Darlington, when we look at all these races, and I know I'm talking about Darlington here, we can bring it back to Pocono. But like Darlington, you get half the field. You get, you enter the pit. You enter pit stops, in stage 1, stage 2, with roughly around 21, 22 cars in the lead lap. At that point, you can stay out, run long. If we get a yellow, you can track people lap down. You can gain a lot of track position at a place like Darlington with pit strategy. At Pocono, you cannot. Okay, when we are running lap times at 54 seconds, and the leader is running like a second and a half faster than us, realistically, like, the gap is just going to be huge. You can't make up, even if you make up like 13, 14 seconds from what you're actually running, that's you going from like 29th to 23rd. Like, we're not making huge gains, and so that's a very long-winded way of me answering. I'm not really playing Burton. If I'm in, very much answering like the LaJoie, the McDowell. If I'm wrong on LaJoie, I'm wrong on LaJoie. That's just how it is. Like, LaJoie is either going to win somebody a tournament today or make it to where that line isn't even close to cashing, and it'll be on LaJoie. I'm just not going to be on that. I'm either playing Gillen or Ty Dillon if I need value. That's just where I'm at today. Thank you very much for the support, Race Fan. That is your first ever Super Chats. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and stuff like that. Burton, say answered that. Blaney, let's take a look at Blaney. Why? Okay, so, which, yes, he's been very good. He's been consistent. Nashville is a bit of an outlier for him, but pretty much top 10 car here. Didn't do shit at Dover. Fast car, didn't get fast laps, didn't get really any laps led, anything to really write home about. When we look at that Dover race, you see that he got 29 fast laps, 0 laps led, ends with 54 points. That's when he was 8,600. He's 98 right now. He's starting 14th, okay? When we look at these races, we can argue, realistically assume, that Blaney will probably be anywhere from a 13th place car to a 6th place car at any given point in this race. At any major swing, like any huge improvement from practice, like he's not going to be the fastest car. He's not going to be leading races, but probably ceiling is 5th or 6th rank positions right here. When we look at practice, I mean, it's just he's right here. Now, I didn't bring it over here because I usually what I do to like typically I'm talking too fast. I don't write down the group A and B in practice. One, because I watch it, and if it's anything outside the ordinary, usually I pay attention to. If not, whatever, I don't really care. But typically, practice is not the end-all, be-all, so regardless of what group they're in, it doesn't really matter to me because I lean on current form way more. I just look at everything as its own. I look at everything together. So, like, when we do actually look at what group he was in, we have Ryan Blaney being in group. So he was in Group A, so he was in the slower group in practice, which really pushed down everybody in Group 1. But like truly, like how fast was he? Like, is he okay? If he was in the faster group, right as right where I thought, like anywhere from like 6th to probably 10th fastest, legitly, doesn't make it into Q2. So he just starts 14th. Like anyway, this is basically just how I make projections. Basically, that's literally all I'm doing here. It's just answering the Blaney question based on how I would do projections. I'm not playing Blaney today. Suarez or Busher on DK. I love Busher. Why would we not play Busher? If you could afford Busher, it just makes a ton of sense. I don't understand why we wouldn't play him. $7,500 should be able to pay this off. Has a good. Does he? Let me look real fast before I jump to conclusion there. Does not have a pit stall indicating that. But realistically, we should see Busher if just current form indicates where he should be. Anywhere from probably 14th to 10th. That's where he should be at. At that point, realistically, has a good chance of paying that off because, when is what's value? It's like 39 points, 38, somewhere around there. Pretty good chance of paying that off. Now that's even without the practice. Like when we look at how fast he is in general. I guess if we are talking Fords, RFK is probably the best Ford team. Busher does actually have like true speed this week, and so I would project Busher to finish, right around 10th. If the practice indicates that he's doing better than that, he's going to be just fine. He's going to be a great play finishing at like 11th, 10th, 12th. If he's even better, well then we're already on him. It doesn't really matter. No reason to really like if you're playing Busher off of practice data, I think that's kind of the wrong way to go. If you're playing Busher because you believe that he can finish 11th to 10th and pay the price off, then yeah, that's fine. If he does anything better than that, like that's just how it is. Like that's just a bonus. I don't typically chase ceiling performances. Typically, like Austin Hill and stuff. I know he won yesterday. That's kind of an easy task, but like I had a ton of Austin Hill yesterday. Ceiling performance, just got lucky. Like there's no reason he should be able to win that race. It just happened. Was I playing Austin Hill because he was going to win? No, I played him because I figured he'd finish like 6th and 5th. Anything. So I typically never chase like ceiling performance. If that happens, which typically it happens with the guys we just play, like we just walk into that. We're not chasing that stuff. What else? Yo, what's up, Jim? Happy to have you here. Need 7,000. I don't even know the pricing. Let's look. What are we at? Let me look at the 7K range. Oh man. Well, Busher for one. And probably Bowman, Suarez, or Busher. The only 7K guys that I would consider playing today. Ryan Preece, Gillen, good plays. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if both of them are optimal, but they're certainly safe plays, and I'll probably end up having one or the other in it. Like even Gillen's been fucking great, man. He's been really, really good. Starting last, getting basically the 6th place differential plays plus the one for the change in points between 31st and 20th. That's going to land you right where he is, right where he runs, Good performance here at Darlington. A lot of people got crazy, but like his projected finish should be anywhere from like 31st to 26th, realistically. And clearly these are the Rick Ware starts which we are not concerned about. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon. I don't know if that's a combination I'd use. Like, why are we playing Austin Dillon here? I don't know if I could. Probably I need to write Austin, actually, because it's going to bring up both Ty and if I can't even spell. All right, so what are we doing? and this is not me regret. A lot of people think I'm like an asshole when I answer and stuff, or maybe I feel like I come across that way. I don't feel like I do. I just answer things like when I make projections, when I look at things, this is literally all I do. So, Austin Dillon, starting 23rd today. Based on where he runs, probably going to be his 17th to 24th place car. Now, some people get really mad that I like give a window that big, but that's just how I look at it. That's kind of where he should be at based on this stuff. Combine that with practice, with where he's at in practice, like that. That's basically where we're at. Like I don't see Austin Dillon from this, or really this, indicating that he's gonna like leapfrog a ton. So like, let's give Austin Dillon maybe like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's give him like 18th. Okay, so I gave Austin Dillon 18th today, and that's 31 points. So I just wouldn't play that because that's a pretty bad play in the 7K range. Answering your question, like Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon, like I personally, I wouldn't get to Austin Dillon. But and yet again, all this is just based on my projections. And then also, secondly, because there's a lot of arguments, a lot of dick measuring stuff out there. I'm just trying to win one slate a year, okay? That's all we're trying to do in NASCAR. We just need one slate. That's all it is. Even if you play more sports, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. If you're min cashing each week, you're making mistakes. That's not. I mean, it's counterintuitive when you think about it that way. But like, if you're just min cashing each week, you're not playing DFS correctly. If you're having big swings, like people don't like that, dips and valleys, but like that's more. That's a better representation that you're doing things well, especially if you're finishing either up front and just slightly missing due to luck, or just like finishing at the bottom of the contest. Like if you're finishing anywhere from like the top 65th percentile to probably top 17, you got to do something different. Like that's a bad place to be in, because you're either you're outside the min cash, which you're just not cashing. You're like very middle of the pack, and it's not doing much, or you're passing the cash line, but you're not fighting a takedown contest and stuff. And so for me, I'm just looking for the one takedown a year, really, which we've already had good years in the NBA and stuff like that. But for like NASCAR, like that's why, like when I come to Austin Dillon and I see Dillon at like 31% or 31 points on my projections, I'm like, why would I even waste my time playing him? Why would I waste a lineup playing that? Because if he does better than scoring 31 points, that means we have had a drastic, huge outlier here, which then anybody playing Austin Dillon just got lucky. That's really what it is. Like if Austin Dillon scores like 55 points today, we just got lucky on an outlier performance by Austin Dillon, which I can't be mad at or anything like that. I'm just not going to chase that stuff. Specifically at a race like Pocono, like for him to have an outlier performance at a usual intermediate track like Kansas, that's understandable. But Pocono, when everything's spread out, when the speed just isn't there, when the practice isn't there, like I'm just gonna miss on days like that. That's just how it is. And so anyway, that's trying to indicate kind of where I'm at. 131 of you guys here. Thank you very much for joining me on your Sunday morning. I do appreciate it. Let's see where we're at now. Like an Austin Dillon for the sole purpose of RCR strategy, and this was not based on your comments, Sterling. I was just answering because somebody asked me about Austin Dillon. So like RCR strategy, like what is that exactly? Can you fill me in? What's Austin Dillon? What's their strategy? Austin Dillon is 29th in points, so he needs a win or it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that win's coming today at Pocono. Like what's the strategy here? I'm trying to think, like, what are they making up for? Like Adam Petty, he died, he had a birthday, but like nobody's related to RCR. Like there's not a big RCR date popping up here. Like what's the RCR strategy? Fill me in, Sterling. Bell or Reddick worth a shot? Yes, if you are building a lot of lineups, Bell makes a lot of sense. I think Bell has a real chance of being there, of racing there. Like, this is what you want to see. You know, you're not seeing a drastic change from some mid-pack guy jumping up here just out of nowhere, or contending for a win. But like, very similar to Blaney before he performed well at the Coke 600. You know, Blaney's there. You just need a little bit of strategy go your way. Like, Bell is going to be there. I think Bell, if you're building lineups, especially with him at $9,400, I think Bell should be played if you're building multiple lineups. Reddick, I would be a little bit more hesitant on, kind of more sporadic. Like, these are truly letdown days at this price tag. If he's, you know, running 10th to 15th, your day's just fucking done. It was a miss. I figured, and really between the 200 separating these guys, I would prefer Bell over Reddick, but I think these guys should be considered and should be played. Let's see what else. I'm just trying to win money with my man. Yeah, thank you, Spread. Although you keep moderating Pinnell's chats. I see you're talking with Pinnell a lot. You can just kind of butter everybody up. I see where you're at. Also, where'd the attack go? Why are you just spreading out? What's going on? How much stock do you put in the speeds between Group A and B? I feel like I can't trust practice anymore. So, which the groups are just fucking stupid, but tracks change a lot. Okay. Whether it's a 50-minute practice, whether it's two groups, tracks will change, but you still need to pay attention to where cars are at in terms of just speed, comfortability, and usually what's replicatable. That's why, like, I use a combination of all these things. Like practice laps, the groups, in my opinion, I just fucking throw that out. I really don't care about what group. Like, if I'm really curious, like I answered with Ryan Blaney, then I'll look through the data and be like, okay, what group was so and so in, you know? But we're seeing that Group B is just always faster. That's just how it is. That's how it would be in normal practice. Like, later in the practice session, it's more like race trim, and the track gets faster. Like, it would just always happen. Like, you would never enter happy hour back in the day and be like, oh, who's fast on lap 3? You know, 8 minutes into happy hour. No, you would look like at the tail end of happy hour, like once everybody goes through, once all the times go through, it's really the same thing. I think people are making it are really. I think people are thinking that it's bigger than it is. Like, when just be aware that Group B is faster, but still how faster. Like, am I making sense there? Like, I'm probably not. At least for me, I can write a middle note of Group A being. Actually, this weekend makes a lot of sense. Actually, entering this week, these are the guys I wanted to play. I'm looking at this. Who is fast, week in and week out? Byron, Truex, Larson. You know, people like that. Who is the fastest cars in practice? Byron, Truex, Larson. Yes, they happen to be in Group B, but that was expected. Like, of course, those guys would be faster. So, like, that's not shocking that they're at the top of the practice grid just because they're in Group B. No, it's because they're fast cars. Like, when you take everything in, like, it's not the separation of groups is not important. Especially, like, if you watch the groups themselves, like, watch Group A. Who's racing in Group A? Like, is it people who race around each other, or is it people who are in different tiers? And tiers being, is it mainly top 5 cars? Is it guys who are in the top 10, top 15? Like, Group B today, or Group B this weekend, were the top 5 cars at these tracks. Like, it was the guys who were running in the top 5 in Group B, you know? It was the guys in Group A that are not running in the top 5 in Group A. So, of course, like, it really does, like, just even out. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let's see. We've been live for 41 minutes. Thank you guys very much for being here. Good morning, Big. Happy to have you here. The strategy of coming in 24th each week. Yeah, it's been working. That goddamn AI telling them to take 4 tires. Really teaching them, really helping them out. Just how they always be in play. Yeah, but man, you got to be fast to be in play, man. You got to be. It's. I understand that point of view at other tracks. Pocono is just like you. as I said, you're not leapfrogging the field when the race goes green and you're running 21st. You might, if deep into a run, you might be in 21st and you're leaving turn 1, and that leader is entering turn 3. Like, the gaps are just too big to really make up there. If and when fuel strategy comes into play, it'll come into play between guys running in the top 8. That'll be whoever does the best pit strategy or whoever does the best fuel strategy in the top 8 is going to be there. You're not going to have some dude from the back go through unless they're like super like doing a wild like coasting experience, like completely just coasting down straightaways, which I just don't see it. Stacking both RFK cars, I'm not able to do that in the lineups. Keselowski he needs a better day. Buescher is the better play. I don't believe you need to stack both RFK cars. In fact, I would probably not prioritize Keselowski. If you have the money for Keselowski, go ahead and pick up Bowman. Go ahead and pick up Elliott. I mean, 83 to 96 is not that big of a deal. That just I don't know. I don't think I'd prioritize Keselowski. If you land on him, if the optimizer gives you Keselowski, that's usually when I would play him. But if I was hand-building, I don't think I'd ever click on Keselowski today. And I don't think I'd be able to get to that 8K range paying up for the guys that I want to. Thoughts on Hamlin? Hamlin's in play, man. Hamlin is there. Hamlin is absolutely, just like Bell, just like Reddick, Hamlin is there. Hamlin, similar to that Austin Dillon, being good at fuel mileage and stuff. Who's great at Pocono? Who's like the best Pocono fucking driver in history? And that's not being like, well, Hamlin won at Pocono in his rookie year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like who's consistently good at Pocono, also as of late, also who has speed like Hamlin. Hamlin is a guy who doesn't have the practice speed or the track position right now to lead on his own. Hamlin is a team, this 11 team, 8th. This is the type of play that you would look at for, hey, let's get different with the pit strategy. Hey, let's try and stretch it. Hey, let's do something different. Like, if you want a ceiling play, if you want a guy who has a huge upside, like, don't fucking play Eric Jones. Don't fucking play Stenhouse. Play Hamlin. If you're, like, looking for one-off guys or guys to build, like, you want to line up with some random dude, because Hamlin is the guy. Hamlin fits the mold of somebody who would take a wild strategy that would realistically like win the race, that I could realistically see winning the race, or working out things like that. Mr. Bass, you can join the Patreon and see where I got everybody finishing. All right. So let's see. Why are we talking about New Hampshire? Why are we talking about New Hampshire here? Briscoe looked garbage last week in practice, but in the race he was good. At a short track. I don't know. This guy's pretty ass at real tracks, real intermediates. Let's see. Bubba Wallace starting 10th today. Would you consider any Bubba? Yes. So when we look at Bubba Wallace, good car, good 85 with these types of performances can pay it off. When it comes to Bubba, I would probably play Bubba Wallace over Keselowski, but I'm worried about Bubba Wallace for a lot of reasons. One, they're racing for stage points. They've said this weekend they are prioritizing stage points, which will absolutely fuck you over in finishing position. Depending on when cautions come out, depending on what happens. Like, if Bubba is prioritizing stage points, that means they are absolutely behind the 8 ball in terms of strategy for other teams. And one, I don't like playing Bubba when he has a lot of pressure on him. I really don't like playing Bubba when he has a lot of pressure on him. He's so fucking terrible, dude. This guy is so bad. This guy is like Lewis Hamilton. He just bitches and moans and tells Toto, like, dude, this car's fucking terrible. Like, but like, has Bubba Wallace ever won a fucking race? Like, I'd be cool to see him win his first ever NASCAR race this weekend, but I just don't see it happening, you know? Bubba has the ability and the car to run fourth today. But Bubba Wallace and the team will fuck himself over somehow. It's very similar to Denny Hamlin, not a priority, but on the list of people that I would want to target. This is the list entering that I wanted to. And did you guys like the preview video this weekend? I'm trying to get things different. I don't know. I'm trying to do things, so I'm just not ranting for 40 minutes. But these are the guys that I liked entering the week. Bubba Wallace is right there, but he's certainly at the bottom of the priority and stuff, just because I think there can be issues with Bubba Wallace. Bubba is just a fucking chokester, man. It's wild. Thoughts on Blaney? I've already answered Blaney. You can go back and listen on 2X if you have any Blaney questions. Harvick, man, starting fourth. Okay, so we have the track position. Having the pretty sure. No, he did not. I don't know why I thought Harvick was up here in practice. Harvick was in. He's in Group B, so he was in the Harvick. This is a great example. Harvick was in the fast group, the fast the fast practice session, Group B, the one everybody wants to be in, the one where everybody's fast, and the fucker is still 15th fastest overall in averages. Now I take out all the even if we take out his fucking lap with probably traffic, let's see what that bumps him to. So that's 54.04. That would bump him right here. So like roughly outside the top. Actually, not even roughly outside the top 10. Actually, right where he is in every single race. From like 7th to 12th. Starting 14th. Maybe he keeps that track position. Does he get the lead? I don't fucking see him getting the lead. But he's going to run just like this. What are you doing with Ross? I'm not playing Ross. Just not playing. I'm not playing Ross Chastain today. Oh, man, I can't spell. This is what you want to see. But similar to Kyle Busch, man, this is a difficult track. He needs 50 points to pay this off. I have Ross going from... Ross starts 21st, okay? He wasn't that fast last year. We got to remember that, okay? He was very slow last year. Pretty much right where he was. I think he started anywhere from 17th to 23rd. He gets to the front of the lead on strategy, on pit lane. He's getting off sequence and stuff. That's how he got beside Denny Hamlin, and Hamlin fences him and stuff. So he wasn't fast last year at this track. And people might say, "Oh, well, you're very selective on when you use the current form, and then now you're bringing up how Chastain ran at Pocono last year." That's understandable. But based on this stuff, and even here, Chastain hasn't been the fastest in all these races. This is where he progresses and ends up, Chastain pretty much always runs better than usually where he practices and qualifies. However, this is concerning, man. This is absolutely concerning to see. You got Chastain in Group A, which, okay, bump him up a little bit, but that's bump him up from 23rd to 13th. Even then, the cars he was racing against in the first group, I mean, that's just concerning. This is concerning. I mean, this indicates that he'll move up into here. Typically, when I see somebody qualify poorly, combined with off the trailer slowness, I'm giving Ross 10th place today. So that's 44 points. He's gonna have to jump the barrier from here to probably finish 4th to 7th to pay it off. And even then, he might be pushed out by the secondary lap leader. I'm just not playing Chastain today. Logano. Let's talk about Logano. I don't know why I don't know why we're talking about Logano, man. Why? What am I seeing here? What am I seeing? What am I seeing? Starting sixth. There. No, this was Group A. I'm pretty sure Logano was in Group A. I would be very shocked if he was not in Group A. Yeah, Logano was in Group A. I just don't, man. I just don't see it. He ran long, getting an idea of what the car's gonna do, but like, he's still not fucking fast. He's just not. Why would we play? Why would I even waste time looking at Logano? Let's see. Also, you're also, man, I'm so sour today. I don't know why. Here's Eric Almirola. I'll give him like 27 to here. See if it pays off. You need 35 points to get there. I'm sure you can do the calculation on your own. Truex, love Byron, love Larson. I've lived and died by the Hendrick cars this year. I've lived and died by Truex this year. I see no reason to not play those guys today, and they will decide my day. We have been live for 51 minutes. Thank you very much for joining me. 147. I think that's the most concurrent viewers I've ever had, so thank you very much. If you guys haven't already, I never asked for this, but just because we're getting more viewers, if you would like to subscribe, if you'd like to like the video and stuff, that does help out. And you can join the Patreon and join the PayPal if you want to support me. Past that, I will see you guys later. And best of luck. I'll see you. Yeah, just like best of luck. Hopefully you guys can cash and stuff. And yeah, talk to you guys later.